I am joined by a fellow podcaster, Steve Compian, who hosts Sports by Compian on YouTube and Spotify and wherever you get your podcast. Steven, how are we doing tonight, my man?
Wonderful, Brent. Thank you for having me on Yelling from the Couch. I think we all have done some proper yelling at our teams from couches in many different areas. So I'm happy to be here on the show. Happy to talk some sports with you. There's been a lot going on in the NFL, the UFL. It's exciting times here. So, yeah, I'm absolutely stoked to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's been a slow sports week, sports wise, for the most part. But man, today training camp starts, and
Oh,
we're
yeah.
almost to NFL season. Man, this is becoming one of the best times of the year. And man, before we get started any further, man, I noticed your shirt has turtles on it. I just now noticed that. My
Absolutely.
oldest daughter, we call her Turtle because she plays catcher in softball and she is slow like a turtle. So she would love your shirt right now, man. That's awesome. I just noticed that when we went live.
Absolutely. Hawaiian shirts are a big thing in the rugby culture, and I am immersed in said culture. So I do always rock the Hawaiians. The Turtles, I have gotten many compliments on this Hawaiian before. There's a lot of strength. The Turtles, they win races all the time, from what I've heard. So your daughter's in good company.
So yeah, man, you host your own podcast, Sports by Compian.
Sure.
You cover NFL, rugby, MMA, UFL.
Yep.
What all do you talk about on the podcast? Which I was a
Basically,
guest on last week. I appreciate you having me on.
absolutely. We had us come on and break down the Cincinnati Bengals and what was going to happen. We basically just like to cover any type of sport where they're punching or each other or they're tackling each other. Basically contact sports, impact sports, if you will. We're not here to cover the basketballs of the world, although we did cover one episode of that. We don't. We're not going to cover. You're not going to do your soccer channel, sorry, or football, como dicen en español. But here in America, we're only going to cover the sports where people are tackling each other. That's where you can find the sports by Compian, rugby and football primarily. Of course, everyone's on the NFL's wings. That's the funnest one to talk about. Which is basically a lot of what we do over there on Sports by Compian. Check us out on YouTube for the latest updates.
And we'll put the link in the description after we upload this and everything, so everybody go check out Sports by Compian. So we'll start off, man, and like I said, we're getting into the swing of things with the NFL. Why not start with a little NFL training camp talk? A lot of
Exciting
the NFL,
times.
yeah, a lot of the NFL teams have reported to camp this week. The Bengals reported today, and Trey Hendrickson's still not reported. He's in Florida somewhere. First round pick Shamar Stewart also not showing in a contract dispute over his rookie deal. Terry McLaurin is not reported in Washington. Man, there's a few holdouts here. How are we feeling about training camp, Steven?
I feel like this is starting to become more commonplace than ever. I remember like back in the day, you would have like a guy holding out for training camp, and you'd be like, "Oh my god!" Like, of course, Le'Veon Bell is the most typical of them. Like, maybe ruined his career with the holdout that he went with. The ultimate sacrifice took off the entire year. It's just starting to become a lot more common now, though. I think these guys know that they have a limited amount of time, especially if you're going for your second contract. Like, this is the one where you got to make the real money. I know over on our other podcast when we covered this last week, we had some sad things to say about the Brown family as far as not wanting to pay their players. It just seems kind of crazy because this man led the NFL in sacks last year and your star defensive player on a struggling defense. Brett, I don't know if you want him just driving off to Florida, hoping for the best. I don't know if that's where you want to be at the start of training camp.
No, not at the start of training camp. Maybe in the off season, you go to
Yeah,
Florida, hang out, at the
sure,
beach or whatever, but not during
sure.
training camp. You want
No,
him in Cincy. Mike Brown actually commented on this the other day and said, we've offered Trey a fair contract, but we believe he should get paid, but he's only guaranteeing him the first year of the contract and not any
oh,
years after that. So that's where
mm,
Trey Hendrickson's like, no, I need more guarantee on that, man.
understandably so. And he's proven that he can do it for quite a few years now, so I can understand him wanting to get that guaranteed money. Another one who I'm much surprised about is Scary Terry holding out up there in Washington. He's always seemed kind of like a team first guy, but at the same time, he's been consistently producing. And now he's like, hey, now you guys see what happens when I have a real quarterback to throw me the ball. You see, I am an elite quarterback, I'm a receiver, and I should be paid as such. So it's understandable as well that now he's starting to make this thing.
Oh yeah, totally understandable. And there was a scenario earlier. Somebody was like, "Hey, they could actually trade Terry McLaurin," and one of the destinations was the Raiders. They were like a second-round pick and Michael Mayer for Terry McLaurin. It's like,
you're gonna hurt Jaden Daniels if you get rid of Terry. Like I know Demi came on strong at the end of that little run there, but like besides Terry, you're really kind of. What do they got? Zach Ertz too, like the ancient wonder. Like it's amazing he's still doing it at a high level. But what are we doing? You can't get rid of your number one receiver and just hope that your young quarterback can overcome that.
They did make the trade for Debo in the offseason, so maybe.
Yeah.
Niners fans hate Debo from what
I'm not a big believer. I feel like Debo's had a couple big seasons and maybe even just a couple big games. And has everyone completely sold on him being an elite receiver, and I think it's starting to show up now a little bit of maybe not the case.
Yeah, and he's not really reliable health-wise. Like guys always injured, so you never know what you're going to get out of him. So you really need Scary Terry to re-sign. Yes, another player that's looking for a new contract, Micah Parsons out in Dallas. He's looking for a new contract. Will Dallas pay him? I don't know. Jerry Jones was on the radio the other day talking about what if he gets in a car wreck? I was like, what?
Jerry is so crazy. He doesn't even have his numbers right. It's like, even if we pay him, we might not get him. He was injured 6 games last year. And it's like he was injured 4, sir. So you don't even know this. As the GM who's negotiated this contract, your numbers are wrong. Like, oh, boy.
Do you even know who Micah Parsons is on that team? I mean, could you pick him out, Jerry?
I think that Jerry Jones is secretly a hardcore Eagles fan, and he's just been sabotaging the Dallas Cowboys as long as he can. He's like, look at them about to have a dynasty over here and maybe win like 7 Super Bowls. Let me get in here, make sure it's only a couple Super Bowls, and then just disappear after that. We'll be decent enough that people won't riot in the streets, but we're not going to really ever win or go to the playoffs and win games every year.
Yeah, and 30 years later, our fans will still be talking about the Super Bowls we won back in the 90s like we're relevant or something,
It's tough. Like, I have a lot of Cowboys fans who are my family, so I'm in there. I'm in the trenches with these guys, and it's really sad. They still are just like, look, man, I don't know if we're going to pay Micah Parsons, but that was a catch, okay? Des Bryant, he caught that ball. That's
Dak is an elite quarterback. Don't you say
I don't think they even believe that. I think even Cowboys fans know that he's not an elite quarterback. And that's just when you have to pick quarterbacks, apparently, for mediocre performance.
Yeah. So, is there any other big names out here holding out this?
I think all the second rounders finally all signed, which was crazy because the second rounders were all holding out, and there was like a whole bunch of them all held out. But I think they finally got more guaranteed money, which is good for them. I know the Bucks finally got their guy signed, Morrison. So it's been interesting watching all these rookies like really hardcore negotiating to start off their careers.
Yeah, Bengals second round pick from South Carolina, Demetrius Knight, finally got a deal done right in time for camp. Linebacker, so there's a defensive position there. Hey, Shamar Stewart, that could have been you. I mean, a little bit more money, but still.
Sure.
Yeah. So, are you excited about training camp started? I mean, this is we're about to kick it off, man.
It is always exciting, but I never really get too excited about football until after preseason because I just feel like I can't handle it's here, but it's not really here.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like our boys, but not really. And all these guys making plays are probably not even going to be on the team. Like, it's just too weird for me. It's kind of sad. So I don't like to pay too much attention to the preseason. You see these guys ball it out, and they get cut the next day. I'm like, what's going on here?
There's going to be a time this preseason. The Bengals just signed Desmond Ridder this past weekend.
I saw that.
He's going to play in preseason. Like, he's going to be QB number 1, and I'm going to be like, man, if Burrow goes down and Jake Browning gets hurt, it's like, we got the guy, man. Ritter is the guy. And then they're going to put him on the practice squad and be like, oh, yeah, he wasn't. But I'm going to overreact like crazy in the preseason for sure.
You're a big Ritter fan, huh? I watched him for years at the Falcons, and I just don't think he has it.
No. I'm not a fan of him at all. I'm just saying.
Like, I don't want to be in a dirt because, like, I have, like, bad hair, too, and there's a reason I wear a hat. But it's this man, like, 24, 25.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, dude, the picture they chose for him of getting re-signed, I think they're intentionally trying to make it look bad. It was not a flattering picture to his hairline. I was like, bro, what is going on?
Yeah, no. I'm not a Ritter fan whatsoever. I'm just saying I'm going to overreact when he comes in the preseason, throws for 200, 3 touchdowns. Sure. I'm going to be like, here we go. This is the guy. You know.
Second coming of Jesus. He just needs some time to figure it out.
Yeah, so I'll big time overreact during the preseason. I'm like, oh, yeah, man, do you remember when Trent Irwin was on the team making catches in the preseason, man? Like, why couldn't we keep that guy, for wide receiver 5?
So, speaking of, do you like a coach making a decision on who he likes as number 1 quarterback going into training camp right at the day 1? This is our guy. Do you think it establishes that confidence he needs to get his reps right, or do you think you need that competition?
If you have a quarterback, franchise quarterback like a Joe Burrow, that's fine. But if you are, I don't know, say the New York Giants and you're Brian Daboll and you come out today, first day of training camp, and you said, Russell Wilson is our guy, when you have Mr. 30 for 30, famous Jameis,
the legend,
over there on that bench, the legend, Tampa Bay Buccaneer legend, Jameis Winston,
waiting to eat W's, just waiting to eat W's for you, the New York Giants.
Yeah. I pray the Lord delivers me from throwing pick sixes.
What else can you? He's a man of God. All right, listen. Did Russell Wilson throw for like 5 touchdowns against the Broncos and still lose? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Exactly. That's Jameis Winston football for you, dude. He will keep both teams in the game, and then he will decide who wins in the last 2 minutes.
Yes.
Normally it might be the other team, but he will keep us both in the game, and it will be entertaining football.
Speaking of entertaining football, what else do the Giants have over there to entertain you? Nothing.
Nothing. How are you going to sell jerseys? Are they going to buy conservative Wilson jerseys? I don't think they will. No. There's a reason he washed out with the Steelers so quickly.
Yeah. You're not – I mean, Wilson to Neighbors, who wants to see that? But Winston to Neighbors.
Oh, my God. Think about that. It would be so much fun. Dude, if Winston – when he's eventually going to get in there. If Winston is starting that week, dude, you're already starting Neighbors, no wonder. But he is going to ball out. I tell you, Neighbors will have a good day. Whether or not Jameis has a good day, Neighbors will have a good day fantasy-wise.
Oh, yeah, and my guy Wan'Dale Robinson out there in the slot from Kentucky.
Absolutely.
He's going to get his out there, too, if famous Jameis is quarterback. Why would you name Russell Wilson starter this early?
Crazy, but I can see him losing the job soon. I can see Winston hopping in there, probably doing his thing, winning a couple games, getting us all excited, and then starting to lose again. And then maybe they'll finish out the year with Jackson Dart, who threw a pick 6 to start off his career in training camp. Let's go, kids. Welcome to the NFL. Oh, yeah. He looks cool as fuck. He looks really cool, though. I'm pulling for the kid.
Yeah, so Jackson Dart, he played Kentucky last year in college, and Kentucky beat him. Like, one of Kentucky's only SEC wins was against Ole Miss and Jackson Dart. So, I mean, it's like, whatever. He couldn't beat Kentucky.
Hey, if you can't beat Kentucky, can you really make it in the NFL? That's the real question.
That's the real question.
About to find out.
We'll see. He's QB3 right now.
Okay.
Right now.
He's
the future, though.
He is the future, and I could see him even getting some game time this year with guys like Russell Wilson and famous Jameis ahead of him. Because people just don't want to ride the Jameis train anymore. They've seen too many crashes. And now with the Jameis train starts to get going, they're just like, no, this is just too much. I'm getting off, Jameis. I'm getting off the train.
I would love to see several more of those crashes this year. I would just love
We all would. We all would. The NFL needs more Jameis Winston. And when he retires, he's going to be a heck of an analyst.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's going to hire him as soon as he retires.
As soon as he retires. He's great. He's going to be awesome.
So, So another quarterback competition that was kind of a big, surprise here. Kind of, I don't know if you were surprised or not. I think I called it, but the Cleveland Browns had Kenny Pickett running with the number ones this past week.
I was surprised about this. I did hear that was who they were going to go with, and I thought it was going to be Flacco. I thought you'd go conservative to start the year. So this is my question, though. Is Watson injured? Is he just
Yes.
He's injured still. He's
Out
still
for
injured.
the
How could
season.
he still be injured? He's out for this
He's out.
season too?
He's out for the season, yes.
No, how? Where? I thought like we already did that like 5 times. Is he really doing
We
it
did.
again?
Well, he's done several things 5 times that's got him in trouble, and he's been out before. So why not another injury, right? But yeah, I don't know, man.
Did he re-aggravate this over the offseason? I think that's what it was, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was re-aggravated.
And it was something dumb. I think he was like doing something dumb and like didn't tell the team about it. And now it's
As he does.
Oh man, what is going on with that kid? Like he used to be so good, and then like fell off a cliff, and just obviously this whole thing destroyed him.
When he was in Houston, he was awesome. I mean,
he was like the second coming of Jesus when he was in Houston. Seriously, people were so excited about him.
His coach Dabo Swinney at Clemson said that he's like the Michael Jordan in football.
That's
and
what
man,
it was.
He lived up to it for the first few years. I mean, he was awesome, and then
it was great.
There was some accusations. And after that was it. No more.
That was it. But hey, congrats to him. He made all the money that's guaranteed, and I think that's why teams are so reluctant to give people money now because of the Watson story. Now they're trapped with him.
Well, the thing is this was all out, and Cleveland's like, you know what? We trust him. We'll pay him all the money.
Yeah.
It's like, you go, Cleveland. Pay him all the money.
Well,
Don't pay nobody else.
It's really weird that he just kept on getting injured. If he could have stayed healthy, Cleveland's gamble would have been okay. Like, maybe he's a type of guy you wouldn't want to leave your daughters around, but he's good at football. But that neither worked out for them. It's really tough.
No, and Houston gets all those players. Get Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, all from Will Anderson, all from that Cleveland trade. It's wild.
Brutal. That's why the Cleveland Browns stayed bad. That's why they stayed bad. But hey, they're going Kenny Pickett now, and I actually like the move. I think too many people discount Kenny Pickett. He had a decent time with the Eagles the previous year. He was never like horrible with the Steelers. He just wasn't like impressive and exciting, which we've come to expect from these rookies. But maybe the guy needs a couple more years to process the game.
Yeah, he very well could. I think that he'll be a starter for a little bit in Cleveland, and I don't know. We'll see after that because I don't think Joe Flacco's playing this year. I just don't think that with all the quarterbacks, they've got to do something with somebody. I think Flacco ends up taking like a coaching position or something for the rest of the season, and they roll with Kenny Pickett and the 2 rookies. That's just my thoughts.
And who do you go to after Kenny Pickett? Do you go to Gabriel or do you go to Shedeur Sanders and we start the whole era of Sanders? And man, will he be covered? I'm not looking forward to it. Not that I kind of don't like his attitude, but more than anything, I don't like how much coverage he gets.
Yeah. I don't know if it's so much as him as it is his name, but I think that you go with Dylan Gabriel to begin with, just to see what he's got. You drafted him
the higher one, exactly.
Yeah, and if you don't have anything there, and you're kind of out of it at the end of the year, you go to the sideshow and you bring in Shedeur Sanders just to see what he's going to bring for the future for you, because I don't know. And you're going to get the coverage. Everybody's going to be talking Cleveland Browns football. Everybody's going to be watching Cleveland Browns just to see Shedeur fail. A lot of people want to see him fail. I don't want to see him fail. Well, no, I do. He plays for Cleveland. But
but nothing personal. It's
nothing
just
personal
Cleveland.
against the kid,
Yeah.
It's just Cleveland. I want Dylan Gabriel to fail too, or Kenny Pickett. But it's just because they're Cleveland,
Right. And I actually like Kenny Pickett. But understandably, I wouldn't want him. I can see how you don't want him to resurrect his career over there in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, if you were to be like, yeah, man, Bryce Young, I really like him. I hope he does really well this year. You wouldn't say that,
No, I wouldn't. I don't wish Bryce Young well. Like he's a good kid and all, but yeah, no, I hope he sucks again.
Good comeback
terrible
story.
last year.
He was terrible until the Red Rifle came in, took over, and then he come back, and he was improved from what he was before.
No, I think he's going to be all right this year, actually. And Penix looks pretty good, too. So I think it's going to be another battle. For the
Speaking of a terrible quarterback in the NFL, Will Levis, former Kentucky Wildcat quarterback, is having shoulder surgery and is out for the season. So there's no quarterback competition in Nashville.
It was going to be close.
It was going to be close. No. Cam Ward is, the least talked about number one pick in a while, especially for a quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Will Levis will be able to bounce back, or is his NFL starting career over with?
I think he's done with the Titans. And, I think he's going to have to show something in camp. He's going to have to be a backup and get popped in there and go off for a game to prove that he can be a starter in this league. Because right now, I don't think any team's going to gamble on him as your starter. Unless you're bringing him in, like I said, as, hey, I'm bringing in this guy and some rookie and some other dude to all battle out the starting spot. That's going to be Will Levis's future right now, unfortunately, for Captain Mayo, which we're all pulling for him. Goddamn. This commercial just made believers out of all of us, I think.
Yeah, as a Kentucky quarterback, Kentucky fan and everything, I really like Will Levis. He led Kentucky to one of their best seasons ever, 10-3, under Liam Cohen as offensive coordinator. Excuse me. So I would like for him to get another shot, but I don't think he's going to get another shot. I think this is the end of the line for Will Levis. As a starting quarterback in the NFL, he's going to be probably a backup for the rest of his career, which is kind of disappointing because he definitely didn't live up to the hype. So
that's too bad.
It's too bad for him.
We'll always, unfortunately, have the video of him in the green room, just putting on a brave face, to be fair, with his girl, just having a grand old time. Tough times for those kids who get in that green room. Unlike for Cam Ward, who immediately came off the board, and as you mentioned, the least talked about first-round pick ever. We'll see. I think it's because Tennessee, people just refuse to give them coverage.
Tennessee's kind of been a boring team, the whole time. Their uniforms are boring, their stadium's boring, their coaching staff is boring. The players,
ever since they got rid of Vrabel, it's all right, this is boring now.
Yeah. And even Vrabel towards the end, he was exciting, but Ryan Tannehill, you had Derrick Henry, which was exciting, but Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah. Yeah, the Titans have got a makeover marketing wise. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So with that, So Will Levis done in the NFL. What did you think about the Bucs draft this year? They drafted Micah Parsons the first round. Do you like the direction that they were going there? Do you like another weapon out there for Baker?
So it was one of those things that when it happened, you're kind of like, oh my God, no, we just drafted a wide receiver when we really needed defense. We needed linebackers. We needed corners. But ultimately, the way the draft shook out, I love the pick now, because you're thinking, what are we doing drafting a receiver? We just paid Chris Godwin. We got Mike Evans, a never-ending wonder. And we got Jalen, Jalen McMillan. We just drafted in the third round the previous year. And you're thinking, what are we doing? We got 3 pretty good receivers, but Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both have proven to be a little bit injury-prone throughout their careers. And if both of them go down, such as what happened to us after the Baltimore game for a good little stretch there, it led to a lot of losses because it came down to Baker having to throw to Sterling Shepard and Jalen McMillan, who wasn't ready to be a number one receiver. So I get it now. Buka is a polished wide receiver coming out of Ohio State. It seems like Ohio State produces one of these polished, amazing wide receivers a year. So I can see us being all right, let's invest in the future now. Because in the next 2 rounds, we went corner to really help shore up a position that we were not only had no depth in, but even our top guys just weren't that good. And those picks were Morrison, who we got in the 2nd round. Some mock drafts had us picking him 1st overall. So I'm really happy with him. A lot of people were skeptical because he's had knee surgeries, but it's really something he was born with genetically, that he had to have these surgeries to correct that. So he did one in high school, did the other one just now out of college. But it's not so much, but it was his hips. are like one of them is taller than the other type of thing or some weird shit like this. But it's not like a football injury. So I expect him to bounce back from the surgery just fine. We got a guy you might be familiar with. It's not Kentucky, but the Kansas corner. I'm blanking on his name right now, to be honest. But he's going to play slot for us. We're pretty excited about what he can do. And then we went back-to-back outside linebackers. This one, Roberts, who we drafted in the 5th round. He's probably going to play inside for us. David Walker. We'd love to find these gems in the third, like Division 2 and 3. And I think Walker is going to be the most recent light pick that it's just this guy no one's ever really heard of. But he's going to ball out because he had a boatload of sacks. It was Division 2, I believe, AA, something like that. But I suspect he's going to be just fine. And, of course, we ended up the draft with a good wide receiver who's really fast. So I'm happy with it overall. It was definitely a little alarming when we went wide receiver first overall because I was like, oh, boy, I don't know. We needed some linebackers. But at the end of the day, you don't want to go that high at linebacker because they're just they're a harder position. And we're counting on Celeste Dennis to just be healthy and play the whole year. And, of course, Lavonte David, the absolute most underrated middle linebacker in all of the NFL, still doing it at the ripe age of like 34, 35. It's ridiculous. And he's still just balling out. So we're going to count on him for one more year. And just hope for the best, Brent. That's what our plan is at linebacker.
Yeah. So you mentioned, man, it just jogged my memory a little bit, Chris Godwin and his injury last year. How mad were you at that game playing Chris Godwin with a minute something left and he gets hurt like he did?
It was tough, especially coming from Bulls. But I feel like that was a game that had a lot of Bucs fans pissed off in general. It was just like, if we could have just been firing on all cylinders like we need to be, we might have had a better chance at this game. And it was just a frustrating, horrible night altogether. I think Mike went down that same game with a pulled hammy early in the game.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that was just an absolutely ugly game for us, and Lamar Jackson just ran all over us, to be honest. And, not one of my favorites, that's for sure. It was tough.
Yeah, I remember I had like a parlay in that game, I think, and I needed like Chris Godwin for so many yards to win the parlay. And he got it, and he got hurt. And I'm like, man, I'm glad I won my parlay. But at the same time, I mean, I would be like pissed off if I was a Bucs fan right now because of this.
Very hard to swallow. And our offense was not the same after he went down. It took Cohen a minute to find out how to make it work without him. Because without Evans, to be fair, he lost Evans and Godwin in the same week. So it took some adjusting after that. And then we had we had to play like the Chiefs the week or next week or something. It was a rough 4-game stretch.
Yeah, not good right there. Not good to have your two best wide receivers, and then you get a little team called the Kansas City Chiefs coming in.
Yeah. Those guys. Let's not get started on the Chiefs. It's a whole other podcast. But
we'll see that.
He's going to come back slow. I think he's still working on it a little bit. Like he's going to miss him with the start of training camp and that sort of thing. But I suspect he'll come back.
So today I saw that an offensive lineman, Byron Matos, for the Miami Dolphins, was airlifted to the hospital during practice. He's now in stable condition after what's being reported as a heat-related illness. Man, it's that time of the year. And, guys, I remember when Corey Stringer died 20 years ago for the Vikings due to a heat stroke during practice. So I just hope everybody stays hydrated and cool out there because it is dangerous, especially in them pads,
This might be one of the hottest summers in a while, or maybe people just keep on saying that. But either way, I'm not. I hate to hear about this, but I'm not surprised. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Especially down in Miami, it's probably ridiculous to start training camp. Those poor bastards.
Yeah,
they're already millionaires, so I guess they're probably okay. But it is still tough. And there's some rookies who aren't even going to make the team who are out there in that heat. Those poor bastards.
Yeah, and maybe get an indoor facility or something with air. Just worry about the elements when it gets closer to time.
The Bucs, I don't know if the Bucs have that much of an indoor facility either. I think a lot of it is you got to acclimate your players to it, so that those early September games, you go down there and teams just die when they're playing you. I remember I was down there for a Bucs game in early September, and oh my God, was it hot! And you could just see the Bears just slowly but surely wilt under that heat, man. Whereas the Bucs players are more used to it; they keep going. Home field advantage,
Yeah, that's like going to Buffalo in January.
Yeah.
Buffalo's got the home field advantage because it's cold as can be up there.
Yep. Yep.
So another thing I seen today, ESPN is close to acquiring the NFL Network and the NFL Red Zone. Man, I can't wait to get 7 straight hours of Stephen A. Smith on Sundays. Man, what do you think about that?
I think the one good thing about that would be that if they get Red Zone, at least you can have Red Zone with your bundle package from Disney.
Yeah.
Would be my understanding, right? Or are they going to like hike the price? Hey, if you want Red Zone 2, now it's a 4 bundle or whatever the fuck, and maybe they're going to hike it more. Regardless, it still might be cheaper than some of the services out there. For example, YouTube TV, quite unreasonable if you're just looking to watch your favorite team. It is crazy expensive.
Yeah, I think that they said that they're going to launch a new thing this fall, and it's probably going to be before football season, especially if you get this deal done. And it's going to include Red Zone, ESPN, ESPN Plus, all that stuff for $29.99 a month. So I don't know. It's going to just be referred to as ESPN. So
the problem with that is that you're not going to get any like full Bucks games on that. You're only going to get the primetime games and Red Zone, which I want to watch a full Bucks game, and it's just so expensive to do that.
Yeah, unless you have Sunday Ticket, which this may include Sunday Ticket in there.
Well, that's what I'm
sure
saying. The only Sunday Ticket option is through YouTube TV, so I don't know if they're going to include Sunday Ticket here, or if it's just Red Zone they're talking about. Because if it's the whole Sunday Ticket, then that's a great deal.
Right.
But I think it's going to just be Red Zone.
Red Zone, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I love me some Red Zone when the Bengals aren't playing, but
for sure, exactly. Whenever your
if the
team's
Bengals are playing,
like I don't care what Geno Smith is doing right now. The Bucks are on third down, and I want to see what's happening with that.
Yeah, it's like I don't care what Houston and Indianapolis is doing. I probably wouldn't care if it was on right now. But I want to see my Bengals. But if the Bengals aren't playing, it'd be like, okay, let's see what C.J. Stroud's got going on here.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I am with it, and because YouTube TV is completely unreasonable. It's almost like I think they're going to jack it up this year to $85 for the base package. So that's just base. You have to have the base before you can buy anything. Then you got to buy the Red Zone on top of that. Then, I think you got to buy the NFL ticket on top of that, which runs up like about $100 or so a month for the season or some crazy shit. So you end up spending like, I think last year I made the calculation, it was around $750-ish or so. It's probably going to be around, $900 to $1,000 plus this year. That's just unreasonable to me, Brent. That doesn't seem like too much money to spend to watch football.
It's very unreasonable. I remember the days back, cable before everybody cut the cord. The reason why everybody cut the cord was because it was supposed to be a cheaper option. And now we're heading back the opposite way.
Yeah.
It's costing more.
Well, I'm in Illinois, so I can't catch Buccaneers games if I wanted to on cable.
Right,
but,
yeah.
I think anyone who's local would take advantage of pulling back the cable because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday Ticket before, like, if you signed up with, like, DirecTV, like, the first year was free, Then you had to pay after that.
But it was reasonably priced.
Reasonably priced. It was like, what was it, 200 and something? 250 maybe a year for Sunday Ticket?
It's better than it is now, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So
YouTube TV's taking it for all they possibly can.
Yeah, so maybe if ESPN buys that and they include that, which I doubt it, but if they did, that would be a plus overall.
Overall, it'd be a plus. Yeah, why not? But yeah, that's a good acquisition. So, also outside of the NFL, the old UFL is making some moves.
Yeah.
Some teams are leaving. I think a couple shockers in there. The Michigan Panthers moving out of Detroit. Kind of sad to see, especially when they had a spike in their attendance from the previous years. They went into a championship, but I think it ultimately came down to they just kept on trying to fill Ford Field, and it was just too big of a stadium. Let's go to a smaller stadium, and it wouldn't have felt so empty.
Right. And then was it Birmingham? Is that another team that's going?
Yeah, that's a shocker. A 3-time champions, Birmingham Stallions. And that one is less so because the attendance just wasn't there. And I don't know what Alabama was going on with them, man. You'd think there'd be a market for pro football, as much as they love their Crimson Tide, but apparently they just have no interest in football in the springtime. Their wives like, listen, You're not getting into football in the spring too. I know how you get in the fall, and you're not going to get into this in the spring too. All right, so no, you can't be a Birmingham fan. I mean, a Stallions fan. They're like, all right, well, damn.
Yeah, it's like from August until January, you're already unreasonable. We can't have you from February till May extending that out. There's no way.
Yeah, I
You
think
gotta
that's
stay
what it
here.
is. I think the women of the South have just put their foot down on this whole spring football thing in general, and they said, no, not in Birmingham, damn it.
Yeah. You want to watch something? You just wait till September. Forget it.
That's right. Don't even turn them on.
Yeah. So, and also one of the locations they're talking about relocating 4 of the teams. Those are the ones we were talking about. One of the locations is either Lexington or Louisville in Kentucky, which I live in. And man, I would hop on board and be, I will root for any team that's right there. Go to some games. I mean, it'd be awesome to have a professional football team in the state of Kentucky.
I've been saying that for a while. They need to hit more of these states that don't have a pro team. But then my theory kind of falls apart because I thought Alabama would be a good market, but you never know. I guess they definitely should try Kentucky. I think that it would definitely be a good market for it. You guys love the football over there.
Yeah, and like this, so like St. Louis, once they lost an NFL team and then they get the UFL team, they have pretty good attendance in St. Louis.
Decent attendance. Yeah, the Battlehawks do really well. That's my team actually for the UFL.
Yeah, so if they do, like teams that don't have NFL teams or cities that don't have NFL teams, I would feel like, would do a whole lot better under this if they had a professional football team to get
keep
behind.
on trying to go to New York, Florida, Texas. It's like you got 2 Texas teams and it's an 8-man league. What are we doing?
Yeah.
They still got that going on.
Isn't one of them like Houston, like the Roughnecks?
Yeah, I think they're relocating to it's Arlington that's just the Texans now, and maybe the Roughnecks are out, but the Birmingham Stallions are still there. No, not the Stallions. The Brahmas, the San Antonio Brahmas. So those are actually 3 teams from Texas in an 8-man league. It's just why? I don't get it.
Look, we know you love your football in Texas and everything.
But they
high
don't
school
want
football's a
3
big
spring
thing.
teams.
Yeah, 3 spring teams.
That's crazy talk.
Nobody wants to watch your NFL teams. Well, I mean, some people may, but
I don't think they had any Florida teams either.
They didn't have any
there's no Florida teams, so that's ridiculous. But yeah, if you go to a smaller stadium like how the Defenders did it, they did it at Aldi Field. That's the soccer team that plays there out of the MLS. It's a weird stadium, like we're really high up there, but whatever. It works for them. It makes the stadium feel more full, and I think it's a good time. Man, spring football is fun.
Yeah, it could be really fun if they, get some more people into it. But do a little better, advertising on this. Showcase them a little bit.
Yes,
put a little bit
they
into
really are bad at doing it, man. Like anytime they're showing it on ESPN, they're like talking about other sports when it's happening, or just cutting off. Like apparently during one game, I think it was like a pretty tight regular season game. They just cut away from it to the NBA pre-game talk. It wasn't even the NBA playoff game. It was the pre-game talk. That they just had to cut away and get to this pre-game talk. We don't have time to show you the end of this football game. Pretty crazy. See,
that's crazy. Like
ESPN's not taking it seriously.
Yeah, like, do we really want to sit here and have more Stephen A. and Kenny Perkins and whoever else is on?
Or show real sports.
No. Yeah, show an actual game going on. Put the pregame show on Plus or something. Put it on ESPN News, something or another. Don't cut a live game, in the second half for that. That's crazy.
And there's just not enough coverage of other sports in general for a network that claims to be the sports entertainment. What about the fact that the Women's Rugby World Cup has just crept up on this? For all you football fans out there who may not know about rugby, I bet you didn't know that the Women's Rugby World Cup is next month, Brent. And our USA team is actually really damn good. The men's team, terrible at 15. We're pretty bad. We get wrecked by just about everyone. But the women's team, pretty good. We're pretty good at rugby, the women. And what can I say? These ladies know how to score tries. They know how to get out there. We're playing against England after the opening ceremony. that they're the host team. So if we go out there and knock them out, you know what I'm saying? It's a great way to start the year.
We have beaten England before, so I trust that we can beat England again.
You're not wrong. We absolutely have beaten England before, and I could absolutely see us doing it again. And just so you know, yelling from the couch, fans, let me go ahead and give you this schedule. That game is August 22nd, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So wherever you happen to be, August 22nd, which is, let's see what that is. Is that a weekend?
Be a Friday.
Be a Friday. What else would you rather do with your Tuesday afternoon, your Friday afternoon, before you go into the weekend, than see our women's team get their first win in the World Cup? After that, they got Australia and Samoa in pool play. So they're probably, if they can take out England, they definitely got Australia and Samoa. And we could see them going on a little bit of a run here for the World Cup. How about that, man?
That would be awesome. And like you said, tune in to the rugby game, and that's like preseason football time. You could do that leading into your preseason NFL that night, and just have a whole afternoon and evening of rugby/football.
Who doesn't want to see this stuff, man? Women tackling other women, like that's just quality entertainment. ESPN, get it on the channel.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't though.
I'm sure they'll have... see golf. Nobody wants to watch golf, dude. Come on. Who watches PGA? I really want to know who are these people.
You can tell me about Scotty Scheffler, and the only reason I know it's because it's like, oh, look, we're interviewing Scotty. Who cares? I don't even watch golf. I don't even know anything about golf. I hate playing golf. I mean, all of it. Don't like any of it. Tennis. Yeah. Get this Wimbledon off of my screen.
No, man. No. Well, that is what's going on in the sports world as far as I know. Do you know anything else that we didn't talk about?
I think we've covered just about everything that's happened this week, man. Some interesting things. Football's kicking off, man. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We'll be here for too long. And, everybody go out, check out SportsByCompian on YouTube, Spotify. Are you all?
We are on Spotify. We upload a little bit slower there, so go on and check out our YouTube channel to get the most recent updates. And, of course, you have a better chance to see my beautiful face while we talk to you about sports if you go to that channel.
And I'll put the link in the video here. And, man, Steven, I appreciate you coming on here and just chatting up some sports, man.
Always a great time. I appreciate you having me on. We'll probably be back. Bye, you guys.
Yes, definitely so. And, well, that'll do it for us, folks, and we'll see you all later.
Take care.